Hailing from the great cold state of Alaska, I am the Frozen Gamer, and today I want to talk to you guys about Ghostrunner on Nintendo Switch. Now, this is a game that, as soon as I saw the preview for it, I was super excited about it. I just thought, okay, this looks like Mirror's Edge with better action. And I'm a big fan of Mirror's Edge. As you've seen, there's some gameplay of Mirror's Edge Catalyst on my YouTube channel. But it's, you know, I really enjoy the parkour style game, but at the same time, the action, you know, wielding a sword and everything, also being set in a cyberpunk setting. It seemed like it would be really awesome to me. So I've been playing this over the past few days because it came out this past Tuesday, November 10th. And I've been playing almost exclusively in handheld mode. Mostly just because that's kind of the main reason why I wanted it on Switch, was so that I could play it in handheld mode. Now, I'm not gonna, I haven't made it all the way through the game. I don't know actually exactly how far I am into it. I think I put in basically like a few hours, but that's also with a lot of deaths. So, I guess I'll just kind of give my impressions more or less based on the amount of time that I put in so far. So the first thing I want to say is that I really think that this is an interesting game. Like, of course, obviously, I'm a big fan of the gameplay style in general. I love having the parkour things going on and having the action along with that, you know, using the sword. But I do want to point out a couple of things. Number one is that this game, I think, could be best described, I saw someone describe it as a mixture of Mirror's Edge and Hotline Miami. Now, Hotline Miami was something I just couldn't get into. I found it very frustrating to get into a level, get hit once, and die immediately. This one, initially, when I realized that's what it was, which I didn't realize it until after I bought the game, but when I realized that's what it was, that kind of frustrated me at first. But as I played more and more, it's like, okay, well, I want to give this game a fair shot, because I barely started. I feel like it's a game that deserves a chance, especially because I just paid for it, you know? I don't want to give up that quickly. And the more I've played, the more I've found I actually don't mind so much that it's instant kill. I mean, that it's one hit, you're dead. The platforming stuff is something that I'm used to because of Mirror's Edge. You know, you screw up, you're dead. But with this one, the instant death if you get hit by an enemy, I've just kind of gotten used to it, and what makes it a bit more bearable is the fact that you have an instant reload. Like, there's no load time at all. It just, as soon as you die, it says reload checkpoint, you hit X, you reload the checkpoint immediately. There's no waiting whatsoever. You can dive right back in, try to get that flawless run, because it has to be essentially flawless. I mean, you can mess up a little bit on the platforming sometimes, depending on where you are, as long as you find a way to recover from it. Same goes with, you know, killing the enemies. As long as you figure out a way to recover from it and not get hit, you're fine. But if you don't recover from it, you're screwed, and then you have to restart. And what it does is it's not like level by level, it's checkpoint by checkpoint. And I don't think this is supposed to be a very long game. But I just want to point those things out. Like I said, instant death. I mean, you get hit, you're dead, and you have to restart the checkpoint. But it loads in super fast. If you're like in the middle of a run, you don't want that death. You can reload. You can pause and reload the checkpoint immediately. So either way works. If you want to have that flawless run where you don't die at all, I don't think I could ever do that. I'm not that skilled. That's just the reality. And playing in handheld mode is kind of mixed. I have to say already that the joystick, particularly the right joystick, is like overly sensitive sometimes because of how little travel distance it has. Playing in docked mode, which is what this footage that you'll be seeing is, that is considerably better on the Pro Controller. Like, considerably better. A lot easier to press all the buttons and so on and so forth. But I'm basically used to handheld mode, so I'm comfortable with it. The other thing is that in handheld mode, it looks bad. Like, the graphics do not look as good as they do in the little trailer that they did for it. The trailer that they did for it, I'm pretty sure they were showing you footage from the docked mode. Because it looks pretty decent in docked mode. I don't think it's super high resolution. It's probably, I would say, 720 to 900p maybe. But it's a considerable jump over handheld mode. And I don't know if that's something that'll get changed in the future. I know that they were talking about maybe trying to get it up to 60 frames, which has me a little bit concerned, at least in handheld mode, because it really looks bad in handheld mode. Like, legitimately, it looks about as bad as the Xenoblade Chronicles games. At least both Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. It's that low resolution. I think Doom 2016 looks better. But the good thing is it does run consistent 30 frames per second, which, I mean, I know that for people like me, in general, I prefer better frame rates and everything. I prefer the higher frame rates. But if I wanted that, I just play on PC, because it's going to play better, it's going to look better, it's going to run better on PC. There's no question about it. But I wanted the handheld mode. That was the thing that sold me on this particular version. And I still think it works well enough if you're willing to get past some of that, because it's still an interesting game. And if you like Hotline Miami, or if you like Mirror's Edge, if you like one or both of those, you'll probably end up enjoying this game. Now, once again, I have not completed the game. I'm probably still pretty early. I think I've gotten through I got the first 2 full, like, mission things, because I don't really know if they're considered missions. This one is a lot longer than the previous 2 were that I'm on right now, because I haven't gotten to, like, the end point where it said how many deaths I had and everything like that. So I'm not sure if this mission just continues for a while, or I'm close to the end, or what. But in terms of the gameplay, Hotline Miami meets Mirror's Edge. I think it's great so far. I haven't gotten a lot of abilities. I think I've unlocked, like, I've only unlocked one, like, ability, other than the normal stuff that you get by default. So that style of gameplay, I think it's pretty good. I'm enjoying myself. I still probably have a long way to go in the game, but I think that it's worth it from what I've played so far. And I will say that when you finally get that run that just goes really smoothly, or even if it doesn't go completely smoothly, like you still finish, you get through the checkpoint to the next checkpoint, it's super satisfying. And I don't know. It's hard to explain exactly how it is. It's one of those games that, you know, you can watch gameplay. You're going to see a lot of deaths in this footage that I have, because either I mess up on the platforming or I get killed by an enemy. But one of the cool things is that there is a way to, like, you can deflect an enemy's bullets back at them if you get the timing right. And I think my actual successful run on this, which you'll see eventually, I did manage to get that successful, you know, hit their bullet back at them, which was pretty sweet. But otherwise, I just think this is a fun game. It's a solid game. I think the Switch version is worthwhile if you're kind of on the fence about it. If you care a lot about how good the game can look, and you don't want to deal with what's probably, like, honestly, it could be like 360p at times when in handheld mode. If you can deal with that, then you can probably enjoy it that way. If you can't deal with that, it still could be worthwhile for docked mode. If you do not have a different console you'd rather play it on, because, I mean, you could get it on PS4, Xbox One, probably. I would imagine that PS5 and Series X also have it. I don't know for sure if they do. I know PC does. And any one of those platforms, it's going to get you a version that looks better and plays better. Or at least overall will play better just because of having better frame rates and everything. But if you want something that you can play portably, the Switch is the version. Because PC, I mean, even a laptop is only sort of portable, and depending on how much you're willing to carry around whatever you need for that, it may or may not be something that works for you. But either way, those are my early impressions of Ghostrunner on Nintendo Switch, and I definitely have to say, give it a shot. It's well worth it. So until next time, this has been the Frozen Gamer, and I will talk to you later. Take care.